tweaked.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by the one and only, the human turret, one of the best ARs to ever do it. Give it up for the world champ himself, Sam LaRue, Octane. I'm joined by some of the best analysts in the game, the world champ, Christopher Duarte, Parsite. And then, of course, we got the executive producer of The Flank. Give it up for Benjay Nassim, who's in Madrid right now, live from Madrid. So shout out to Benjay. Benjay, you've been doing a great job with the interviews and all the content you've been doing down there. How's it going over there, Benjay? Talk to me.
Well, first, I mean, we got to update this intro and get you some gas in this intro. So maybe we should take some community suggestions on what one of us will say every episode to gas up Tom. Because he sits here.
You need community suggestions to gas me up? Sam, you here?
You're his best friend, Benjay.
You can't
come up with your own.
Community suggestions to gas me up?
You need Ghost Riders for ZooMaa gas?
I'm trying to form some content here, man.
Dude, you need a Ghost Rider to gas your boy.
That's insane,
Why don't we get Smacks You for giving a 50?
Yeah, shout out to Smacks You for just dropping a fucking 50 bomb in the chat. What a legend, bro.
That's not to derail us too much now. Madrid's been pretty good. Gersh and I had to go to the Apple store because I lost my AirPods yesterday. Went to a nice coffee shop. Everybody was nice around the venue today. I took a lot of photos, especially a lot of French fans. A lot of them actually watch our show, which is pretty awesome. Matches were great, and gonna try and sneak out for dinner after this because things are open usually pretty late here. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have been asking about Pat. Pat's been working, guys. You keep in mind that the time zones are completely different right now. I think Ben's in Madrid. I think it's like closing in on midnight over there.
10:41 right now.
Yeah, and Pat, Thursday and Friday he works, and it's still really early in the day, so Pat's not going to be able to make it. But he'll be here for tomorrow and Sunday. For those of you that are wondering where Pat is, we'll obviously get Pat's thoughts on the last couple days and whatever the fuck happens tomorrow. But Mr. LaRue, Sam, how you doing, Sam? You doing all right?
I'm great, man. It was a great day at COD. Bright and early, showed up. Just enjoy the day.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. And then, of course, we got the one and only Christopher Duarte, Parsite. What's going on, Duarte? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I mean, yeah, it was a fun day of COD. Some unexpected stuff, some sad stuff for the fans at home. But, the tournament must go on, and I'm excited for tomorrow, at the very least, because we're gonna get the top teams playing against each other again. Yeah. Yeah,
obviously today was all loser bracket, all elimination matches. So we kind of just swept through there, and then tomorrow, like Chris said, we kind of get back to that winners bracket, and we see what's going on there. But we don't gotta waste any time. We had 5 matches today, so I say we hop right into it and see what's going on here. All right, we'll switch on over. First series of the day, we had a Carolina Royal Ravens going up against the Vegas Falcons, and to no surprise, this one ended up being a 3-0. For the Carolina Royal Ravens. You will take a look here at the stat sheet. Yeah, 1.11 from Reese Vivid. I do want to give Reese a shout out. I thought Vivid played much, much better today. It was great to see him really turn it up because I felt like he was a big X factor for Carolina. So he's been playing great. I'm glad to see his eye looked a lot better as well today, which is good to see. TJ, 1.25. He's been unbelievable. Gwyn with a 1.20. He had a 0.96 from Slasher, but doing your job, doing whatever he's got to do. Keep it up in the damage department. And on the other side, you had a 0.69 from Doom, which is not what you want to see. A 0.80 from Roxas. And then you got a 1.03 from King and a 1.02 from Xney. Now, I will say, obviously, match MVP goes to TJ. 1.56 in Hardpoint, 1.57 in S&D, 1.03 in Control. There were matches here. This was winnable for Vegas, like some of these maps. I won't say the series was winnable because, obviously Vegas hasn't won a series yet. But the S&D definitely threw that away. They were up 5-1 in the S&D, and somehow they couldn't just get that last round on the board. Carolina did a really good job.
Those 5-1 leads aren't that hard to throw, Tom. You know what I mean?
Yes, and they're not supposed to.
We've seen 3 of them now.
The fact that we've seen 3 5-1 comebacks is insane. But I thought Carolina did a great job just adapting to Vegas's pace, and it seemed like as the map went on, Vegas didn't adapt when Carolina did. So they ended up throwing that map away. And in the Control, Vegas was up 2-1 in the Control, and then they choked their defense. They messed up on their defense and went into an overtime, and then that was all she wrote. They ended up getting 3-0. Obviously, the hard point wasn't really close. I know they've been really, really struggling in the hard point category. But, Sam, we'll start with you. What did you think of the series, Sam?
You summed it up pretty well. I mean, another Vegas Legion series or Vegas Falcons where they snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. They were up 5-1 and 2-1 in the Control, and they managed to lose the series somehow. They just find and invent new and creative ways to lose.
Yeah.
So they continue it yet again.
What about you, Benjay? What'd you see from the Vegas today?
I mean, I tweeted
Vegas
about
Falcons.
it. It's just frustrating. It's time and time again with these guys. Like Sam said, they just can't close, series. Like if they can maps, if they can extend some of these series to map 4, map 5, like they got a chance to win it, even though they're hard point. I mean, they're 0 for right now, but this comp, the selection of players they have just cannot get over that hump. We'll see if they can do it next major, but unfortunately, 0 points for the Vegas Falcons this split.
Yep, Duarte, what do you think? What's going on with the Vegas Falcons, man? Talk to me,
I mean,
Chris.
you guys talked pretty in depth about the series already. As far as the team, I still like that King guy and Exnet. I think they shoot back. They kind of at least have a pretty decent understanding of the game. But I still think Roxas and Doom are just ass. Like I don't remember the last time Roxas has gone positive in like a series. Same with Doom. I think maybe Doom's had maybe 1, maybe 2. Since they introduced him in the lineup, I just think their ARs are just complete ass. I wanted to touch on the subject of, I don't know if you guys saw this tweet, but apparently pros, and I know this is a fact because Clay talked to me about it, but he said that apparently pros or like teams are like not scrimming them or like chalking their scrims or like.
Yeah, I literally the clip is fucking me talking about it, Chris.
Oh. Well, I just wanted to bring it up to get your guys' thoughts on it because
I think that's pathetic.
We didn't really touch on it.
I think that's pathetic. I don't know why they wouldn't scrim the Falcons. They're a CDL roster. I think they should be interchanging. Like everybody should be playing everybody in the CDL. That's just how it should be. I don't think that's fair at all to them. Being a team that's out of region and nobody's scrimming them, because they're just not as good. I mean, granted, yeah, they haven't won a series. But if everybody's scrimming them, I don't see what the problem is. Like everybody can take turns scrimming them and they can actually get practice on the board. Who are they going to practice? Like who are they going to play? I kind of feel bad for them, honestly. Like I get that they're ass, but hey, they're a CDL team. Like they should get just as much practice as anybody else, right? I mean, we've had problems in the past with blacklisting, and we saw how that unfolded, right? I don't think these guys should be blacklisted just because they're not good. And somebody's like, "Oh, fair." Like in the chat, somebody's like, "This is competition." Bro, every other team in the chat is getting, every other team in the league is getting scrims with pro teams except for Vegas. That's bullshit. That's just like, I don't understand that. I think it's unfair, personally. I think it's dumb.
It's definitely unfair and it is disrespectful, but at the same time, like from the pro player perspective, you kind of have to understand why. It's like they're just like, they feel like they're wasting their time. They feel like they're not getting anything out of it. Granted, that mindset, might suck and it might not be true, but I get why. And if that is like a recurring theme, I understand why, but it does suck. And it sucks that they're in that situation.
You could say the same thing about any team that's shit at the bottom of the league, right? That when you play them, right? We used to scrim teams all the time. That we used to just 7-0 them, 8-0 them, even though they were professional teams, right? We still scrimmed them, right? Like it's not like you're going to be able to scrim the best of the best team every single day. Right? And some days you'll get to play your FaZe, your Optic, your Thieves, and then some days you'll play fucking Vegas, bro. Like, it is what it is, bro. Like, you should be playing these guys. I don't like it at all, personally. I don't like it, but...
Well, I get the player argument that it's bad reps, bad practice, but, if you go back, and I talked about this, like, in depth on Thursday, like, I think that I feel bad for Vegas that they have to, go the length sometimes to try and, say, well, like, pay you to scrim us. Best 11, so they can just get, kind of mixed game of practice with all search. Like they can't just run hard points. My prediction is that if it gets bad enough, because, from what I know, it was a huge problem at this event when pros are trying to figure out what the LAN schedule was going to be like on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, which they're trying to figure out the weekend before because everyone was traveling on Monday. People didn't want to play Vegas and it ended up being a complete shit show in the coaches chat. And I think if it gets bad enough, eventually, I think Falcons will probably go to their ownership. And I guess it'll trickle down to the teams. Very informally of, hey guys, like, got it. You guys got to figure this out.
Hypothetically, and I'm not comparing them to this. I just want to get your guys' opinion because this is an interesting argument here. Let's say some team bought into the league and just fielded literally anyone, like they're not good players, like random people into the league, and like they were shit. Would you blame pros for not playing them in practice?
Hold on.
Hypothetically, I just want to know.
Hold on.
Like, I'm not comparing them completely, but I just want to know, like, would you fault them?
What in this hypothetical? Are you talking about like top amateur players or like literally ranked players?
Literally ranked players, and they were like, "Oh, this is stupid." No, but no. Hold on. I just want to know. But I want to know if that was like a thing, like hypothetically.
Obviously, you wouldn't play them.
Okay,
Yeah.
but like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, they're still in the
not a
league,
fair
No,
right?
that's
comparison
the
whatsoever.
same stupid fucking
That's not
hypothetical.
a
'cause
fair
we've never-
The
comparison.
Vegas
mean,
Falcons are not
it's
ranked
just the
play
guy-
players. They can
I'm
shoot
not saying
back.
they are.
Okay, I've watched
Well,
Xnit shit
I
on
never
people.
said
I've
they
watched
were. I
King
said
shit
that's
on
not the
people.
No,
point.
but you're saying in the hypothetical, bro. Whatever.
All right,
mean,
listen,
like,
hold
to a
on.
degree,
Let me say
to a
something.
degree,
Let
to a
me
degree,
say
there's
something
no
here.
like. What I'm saying is, there's no entitlement to.
All right, hold
to
on.
scrims from these
Chris,
teams.
Chris, you're acting like that Vegas hasn't been competitive at all. Listen, they haven't won anything. But
Nah,
even
acting like
today,
that.
they should have been up 2-1 today. They should have been up 2-1. It's not like these guys aren't shooting back. Like they're not. It's not like they're going in and just getting 250-0. Like if a pro team was to be playing a ranked play team.
Okay. Let's say
Right?
teams.
You're
let's say teams
basically
value,
playing a top challengers team, which a
Okay,
lot of
let's
pro
see-
teams already do. They already scrim top challenger teams.
I was gonna say, let's see teams value more practice in, let's say, Fellows Challenger team than Falcons. Are you gonna blame them for scrimming a Fellows team over the Falcons just because the Falcons are in CDL? You feel like they should scrim them?
I mean, what are they gonna do? Just blacklist the Falcons? So what? Vegas can't practice anybody?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they should or that's the thing. I'm asking a question. I'm saying, would you blame a team for playing Fellows team over the Falcons?
My suggestion.
No,
my
I mean it
suggestion-
depends. Depends on the situation.
If they had to choose, and they chose Fellows team over Falcons, and Falcons didn't get a CDL scrim that day because of it for that time slot, would you blame the team that is picking Fellows team? Would you
Chris,
blame them?
I'm
I'm asking a question, yes or no?
I mean, realistically,
I would
no,
not blame
Chris.
them.
Realistically, no.
But-
I wouldn't blame
Okay,
them. No.
that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying I agree with it. I am saying that is the mindset of the pro players as to why maybe they are doing that. They don't feel like it's
I don't
actually
think we're arguing the mindset. Everyone knows their mindset.
Yeah,
They think they're
agreed.
ass.
okay. Well, then,
Well,
like,
what I-
then
what
you
I
We're
would
can't.
arguing the
argue-
validity of
No,
it,
no,
and if
but
it's
what
like,
I want-
You can't
and if it's
blame
an okay
people.
thing that we're not. I mean, bro, everybody knows the point of view. All the we talked about this
Duarte,
on the in the
Duarte, I know where
preseason
you're coming
shows.
from. I get it. I just.
I think
I
everyone
want you
knows
to
the point of
understand that
view.
this is a CDL team and they deserve practice just as much as anybody else. If this was can you imagine if it was the opposite way around? Let's go back. I was saying this before. Let's go back. I know, granted, it's a different situation, but remember when the whole Optic blacklist thing go down? Were people happy when people weren't playing Optic? Well, and
But
people
was that because they were bad?
no, it was because I don't know. I don't remember the reasoning.
It's a different
I'm
story.
just
if
saying,
there's like a reasoning
blacklisting
for
is
it.
blacklisting, right? Anybody who gets
yes, of
blacklisted is
course.
going to be pissed,
Okay, but
regardless of the
also-
scenario.
But also, I want to give you another thing. Just because they're not getting CDL practice, hypothetically, if pro teams didn't scrim them because they didn't feel like they were good practice, they could still get practice. They can play AM teams. Granted, it's not the same quality of practice, but if like the AM teams will probably scrim them, right? I'm not saying that's the way things should go, but that's true. They can still get practice.
What happens
It's
if
just
they're in a
not.
patch mismatch from the challengers?
Well, then that's unfortunate. That's just a different issue. But I'm just trying to say, like, that's how things are, and it sucks. And I don't agree with it. I'm just saying.
All right,
like,
well then, if I'm the Vegas Falcons and nobody's playing me, I'm pulling out snipers, I'm pulling out claymores, I'm pulling out all that bullshit. I mean, if you're not practicing during the week, then
snipers are banned in the CDL right now. But
wait, what do you mean banned in the CDL? They're GA. They're not banned. They're banned.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. I'll pull out the fucking new gun. That fucking new bullshit fucking new gun they just
Well,
brought out.
they'll probably get banned
just
too.
get banned.
But look, I'll say what I said in the clip. I really implore the
Can't even break
players.
GAs right
Can't do
anymore.
nothing, man. Fuck.
Nice. I'm all out of Papania.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I think my suggestion, like I said in the clip, is that I think players and teams got to figure this one out because I just think at some point Vegas is probably going to crack. They're going to run it up the chain, and it's going to be suggested to players and teams like you got to look out for the fraternity and figure this one out. We don't want to bail you guys out on this one. You guys can reasonably figure this one out, and so I think it'll get sorted.
Yeah, I completely. We'll move on from this conversation. We'll move on. But I do get what you're saying, Duarte. Like if they're really bad, like people don't get good practice out of them. But I think it's really fugazi if nobody ever plays them, like ever.
Yeah,
like they're
no,
just
I- no, I
completely
mean,
blacklisted. Like they don't get any scrims. Like that's
I
insane.
completely agree. That also throws off like the practice schedule for teams. Like they can't like fill their slots properly because they're not going to be able to scrim the same people. So it ultimately does fuck them too, or fucks the other teams too. But I mean, I was just trying to present the argument. Like I understand
Yeah.
both sides of the coin, and it sucks. It sucks for the Vegas people, but I don't know. I don't know how they're going to handle it. I hope they just deal with it, to be honest, and like scrim them.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely a weird situation. I don't know how that's going to be handled moving forward, but obviously, if we hear anything, we'll keep you guys updated. But any other thoughts on the series? I mean, Vegas, they kept it close, but obviously they got eliminated this weekend. I'm expecting to see more changes when they go back. Most likely, Chris, right, for Doom and
Yeah.
and Rox's. Like I still think we're all waiting to see if Cakes is coming back, because Cakes obviously had a very short showing here with the Vegas Falcons, and he looked really good. So I think if you have a trio of Xnid, King, and Kicks, and then you kind of stick with whoever you want, either Doom or Rox's, or you can find somebody else. I think they could be a good team. I think they could be I think not a good team. I mean, they haven't won anything, but you know what I mean. I think they'll be better than what they are now. Well, they'll be a little bit more well-rounded. You know what I mean? But yeah, any other final thoughts?
Yeah, I have one more thing. So Reese DM'd me, and he told me, hold on, where is it? Let me pull this up. Basically, he said
Vivid.
that urgent care, Reese, sorry, Vivid. Urgent care had no clue what even happened, and he says that it was tolerable today, but the last 2 days he had to force it open. Today he can actually see.
Well, today he was shooting, so I mean,
yeah.
Shout out to Vivid, man.
Apparently he couldn't see for like 2 days. Basically, he needed to force his eye open to even see anything. And then on top of that, urgent care didn't even know what the fuck it was. So that's insane.
Somebody said, why not put Hamza in? I mean, Hamza would be a great person to put in. I don't know how well he would mesh with the boys, but you know Hamza very well, don't you, Chris?
I don't think that's a permanent solution to their problems, though.
No, it's not. But
They don't have a solution.
yeah, I was gonna say that. Like,
They
what's
don't have
the
one.
solution,
They're
Ben?
coming
Their
into
solution is in 4 years when they're actually a developed Call of Duty region and can field players that know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
They don't have they're going to be better next stage solution as a team. They don't.
Well,
Unless they field 4 NA players, which
here's a solution to this team. Like, a problem we haven't talked about with this Vegas Falcons team, they got to get fucking Hacienda reps, because they have banned Hacienda in these series, and they gave Carolina fucking map 1 protocol hardpoint. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Gotta get more comfortable on these weak maps in your pool and not giving our team their best fucking shit. Like, oh god, I'm not gonna tweak.
You done, Ben? You done?
Yeah, I'm done with tweaking.
All right. Anybody else got any final thoughts on a Vegas Carolina series before we move on to the next one? All right, let's move on. We have the Minnesota ROKKR going up against the Vancouver Surge. This one ended in a 3-1 victory for the Minnesota ROKKR. The only map that Vancouver was able to take was the first hard point, 250 to 187, but the rest was smooth sailing for Minnesota. 6-3 in the S&D, 1 in the overtime in the control, and 250 to 159 in the map 4 Skyline hard point. We'll scroll down, and Jesus, Mono, we got another red carpet for the Vancouver Surge. A .88 from 04, a .88 from Abuza, a .81 from Hixie, and a .96 from Nasty. On the other side, he had a 1.42 from Geo. What a series from him. A 1.23 from Nero, and he had a .95 from SU and a .94 from Paul X. But everybody pulling weight in a damage department over on the Minnesota ROKKR side. On the other side with Vancouver, a couple players, Hixie and Nasty, really struggling in the damage department. One thing that I noticed there, and then of course you got your match MVP, Geo, 1.27 in the hard point, 1.50 in the S&D, and a 1.76 in the control. So an absolute masterclass from Geo today. I'm gonna be honest, Vancouver sucks. I don't like Vancouver's game. I just don't. I don't like their game. I don't know what they're doing on the map. I feel like they look confused. They look lost. Their teamwork's ass. They can't get kills on the map at all. I feel like they struggle so much just winning fights. They don't win fights when they need to. And honestly, it's been kind of annoying to watch because I feel like they've been really, really struggling. And I feel like I've been saying this. That's why I predicted Minnesota ROKKR yesterday up against this team. I'm like, dude, Vancouver does not look good. I said that yesterday, and I'll say it again today, bro. They have a lot that they need to work on. And I don't think individually they're bad players, but right now they're just not meshing. I don't know what it is. I really don't know. Sam, what do you think? You agree with me that these guys are just not winning fights?
Oh, yeah, no, I think they're donkey doo-doo shit. I want to hear what Chris has to say because he said he was going to reserve criticisms for today when they get bounced. So I want to hear what he was going to say.
I was going to say, these guys got to blow it up. I think, like, legitimately, they got to at least make a 2-person change, and I don't know who for who. I don't care about MW3 anymore. This team has failed to develop. Their team just is complete shambles. And, yeah, there's potential on maybe like 04, and then I guess Abuza had some like, showings in Mono over 3, so I don't know if they're going to develop that. But, I mean, dude, I'm not even going to lie. The only person that I would keep on this team is 04 if I was actually just like 100% could make a full change for people that I think are better.
I like 04.
I don't even like listen, Hixie, yeah, he's the scapegoat for this team, but Abuza has failed to play like relatively well for the majority of them, and then Nasty, he's been all right too. So like, unless they can't find upgrades for these people, they just got to have a completely new look going into the next stage. It's bad. Like, They're terrible, bro. They got to blow it the fuck up.
They struggle with just the basics sometimes, man. Like even just like little things.
It's a pure hate watch right here. Just the most in its purest form.
Yeah, I mean they've
Pure hate.
just definitely struggled. I mean, Ben, what do you think, Ben? What's going on with these Vancouver guys? What's happening here with the Vancouver Surge?
I think the collar movements end up completely backfiring for this team because they just don't lack. They just have no punch, bro. These guys throw softballs. I think 04 had a couple of good series, but Abuz has been pretty much a non-factor through this entire split. Charlie's just, a struggle slaying. We knew that. And Byron Nasty's just been okay in every series. And I think the easiest move he can make is probably replace Charlie with someone that can kind of have some kind of takeover potential. I kind of like the plays that 04 makes on the map. The problem is that he's prone to also kind of some respawns where he escalates heavily into the negatives. So they need to find slaying elsewhere. I think these guys got a lot of stuff to work on. I think they need to figure out the mental grind of their situation in Vancouver because I don't think that's going to change. They just got to make the best of it. And unfortunately for the Surge right now, I'm not feeling good about their chances to qualify.
It's not even, bro. But the thing is, dude, even if they just replace Hixie, this team is still fucked. If you watch them play hardpoint, like when they go to break a hill, it is the worst attempts at breaking a hill I think I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
That's what I keep saying.
That's what Tom said. They don't know what's going on.
They don't. I'm watching people. It looks like 4 players are playing 4 different games. Like it actually looks like they're not on the same page. Okay, like sometimes, yeah, they'll have their moments, right? But like a lot of the times, bro, I'm like sitting there like scratching my head, like, yo, why is this guy running here? Why is this guy looking at this? Why are they looking here? They're not even spawning there. Why is he looking in this direction? I'm like, dude, what is going on? Like every time I watch these guys play, I'm just like, dude, these guys, I don't know if they're just not having productive scrims or they're not seeing the game eye to eye or they're not meshing well. You have Tyler Fellow in the chat saying, CDL teams hit me up. He's trying to get in there.
No, he said he's Neptune's agent. That's what
he's Neptune's agent. I thought Tyler Fellow was trying to get in here.
Neptune on the Surge, it's almost too perfect.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I agree, Chris, where if I did have to pick one guy from the team, I'm picking 04. I mean, 04 seems like the one playmaker on the team. The one guy, he seems like he has the most potential for me, from the outside looking in. But again, I don't think these are bad players individually. I just hate how they play together. I just do not like this team. Like the way that this team meshes, I just don't like it. But yeah, and then on the other side, we had the Minnesota ROKKR. And we got the Vegas duo, Gio and Nero. Bro, Gio and Nero have been really good this year. Have they not? Like, especially Nero.
I'd say Nero and Astro more so, but Gio's been a bit up and down, but he showed up massive. He showed up massive in this freaking series.
Yeah, but Gio's another player, Chris. Like when you watch him, like his POV, like he's definitely like super talented. Like he's a great player.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But Nero and Astro, yeah, like the aggression that they put on the map, like the interactions, just the pace that they set. And even today, Paul stepped up in the damage department today. I mean, he still had a .94, but we've seen Paul struggle a lot in the online league matches. So we needed Paul to step up a little bit here today and start getting some kills. And he did. He got some kills today, and he was doing his part. So I thought Minnesota looked pretty good today. It looked pretty comfortable for them against Vancouver. I think they're going to be more tested tomorrow because I didn't think this was much of a matchup for them. But what did you guys think about Minnesota? What about you, Chris? We'll start with you because you know these guys very well.
I mean, they looked good. After that first map, I was kind of worried that we were going to get another stinker out of Paul, but he overall picked it up. Nero, Gio, they fucking absolutely fried. Estro did what he had to do, but I was just super impressed by the streaks that they were on. They were able to go on, and their S&D looked very clean on that red card, which was kind of like a little bit of a question mark for them because we saw them at the before they used to play a lot of Vault, and we saw them play a lot of Protocol, and they started playing more red card, and they looked very clean there. That Protocol comeback was fucking insane. They rallied that one back somehow, some way. I couldn't tell you what Surge was doing, and then ultimately they got a defense out of it and put Surge in the super mega spawn trap. So I mean, they look good. They look better than they did at home. So hopefully they keep up that momentum and give whoever they play next a good fight.
Yeah, for sure. What'd you think, Sam? What'd you think about the ROKKR?
I mean, yeah, I think it was just a clean series. The game 5 merchants is kind of the stigma that they have, but able to close in 4 was definitely a sight to see, which was nice for all of us at home as well. Not having to watch a game 5 in this series, but yeah, I mean, it was a good win. I'm impressed by Gio's performance for sure, but I'm still worried for them going forward when they got to play a little bit better competition than Vancouver.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like today, like even Paul especially was able to get kills, but when they're actually tested, we'll see how these guys do. On the other side, you guys have Ben, do you have anything to say? I'm Minnesota ROKKR.
No, not really. I mean, I think this series was more of a product of Vancouver's issues. I think this is a good showing for Minnesota, and I think the real test is tomorrow with them, to be honest.
Yeah, on the other side with Vancouver, any roster changes? Any players you have in mind?
For their sake.
They better.
I don't know. I feel like I said this before. They had some sort of leadership with Hook on their team before, because Hook was very vocal on their team in game. And he would kind of like rally them behind like a play and stuff like that. And now I just don't feel like they have that. That front lineman that's just kind of leading the way. They definitely need changes. And I just don't understand where they're going to get it. Some honorable mentions out there, though. Talented players, but I don't know how they fit on the team. Lunars, very good AR player if they're looking to replace one of them. And then Neptune, very great SMG player if they're looking to replace one of them. And then also, man, if they want some leadership, listen, man, T-Fell's out there. He's been frying, so who knows?
Yeah, T-Fell's a good. I mean, there's a lot of players in challenges, right? I mean, they could definitely dip into there and see what's going on. I know a lot of pro teams have been playing T-Fell in their team as well, but
I don't think Pred's joining this roster, chat.
Pred's not joining this team. He's not committing fucking career suicide to join this team, bro.
No, this is not a good fit for him.
He ain't
no
doing
way.
that.
There's no way. Pred's not gonna want to go to a team unless it's like a team that's like at least like minimum like what, top 6, top 8. I mean, he's not gonna want to go to the bottom half of the league.
Yeah. I'm so frustrated with Vancouver because when they made this team, all of us had the exact same opinion that this situation was going to happen. And fast forward a couple months, here we are.
Easiest fucking reading.
They picked the most mid-pack team, and we said they're gonna have no leadership and struggle in respawn, and here we are.
Yeah,
I don't know.
All right. Any final thoughts on the series here? Any final thoughts?
No, let's move on, please.
Okay. My bad, man, Jay. My bad, Ben.
Jesus, Ben.
Yeah, Ben. Ben, you got something to be? You got a date tonight over there in Madrid? I've been hearing
no,
some
we got
stories.
5 series to talk about, man. We don't
Ben
need
got Spanish
25
queens
minutes
over
talking
there,
about
I've been hearing some stories about you out there, Ben Jay. Been hearing some stories.
I've been hearing stories about stuff you've been saying about me on the stream.
Oh, shit. Sam, he heard. Sam, he heard, man. He heard, bro. All right, let's move on. We got the Los Angeles Guerrillas going up against the Optic Texas. This one goes all the way down to a map number 5 where Optic was able to take it in the S&D. Actually, Optic was able to take both S&Ds in this series and the control. So they got a Neslo series.
LAG, man.
Yep, they got a Neslo series against the Los Angeles Guerrillas. So that was an interesting way to go about it. But take a look at the vetoes here. Actually, we'll take a look at the vetoes after. Let's take a look at the stat sheet. We got a 1.11 from the Bulldog, Kismet, a 1.13 from Linz, a 1.01 from Priesta, and a 0.95 from Skies. Everybody with around the same amount of damage, which is good to see from LAG. On the other side, we had a 1.05 from Shotzi, a 1.01 from Hook, and then a 0.95 from Kenny, and a 0.82 from Dashi. All right, we'll scroll down and take a look at a match MVP. We got Shotzi with a 0.84 in hard point, a 1.73 in S&E, and a 1.46 in control. Now, I'll start. I thought it was a good series for Optic, just obviously because they got the dub, but it was a little shaky. I think the hard points especially has been really, really tough for Optic this event. I don't know what it is because I feel like online they were such a strong hard point team, and they got the land. It almost seems like they lost their head a little bit. And again, for me with LAG, like it worries me a little bit because I felt like they actually played at like a pretty high level today and they still lost the series. So that worries me a little bit for LAG. Somebody in the chat said good with a bunch of question marks. Yes, I don't think Optic's hardpoint was bad leading up to the event. Was it? Was Optic's hardpoint bad?
No, it was the best in the game.
No, it was the best.
What the hell, AJ? What the hell? AJ Kyle's 15? The hell? But I think going into the event, yeah, Optic's hardpoint has just not been good. It's been like really iffy. And I think it was cool to see them get a win here just by Neslo series. Obviously, S&D wins championship, so 2 big S&D maps and a flawless control got them the W here. But go ahead, Ben. What were you gonna say?
I'll tell you what wasn't good coming into this, and we've talked about time and time again, is LAG's S&D, and it's cost them in a bunch of game 5s, and they battled heavy in this series. They smacked Optic in the face on one of their best on a pretty good map of Protocol, Hardpoint 99 Kids map. And the Skyline as well was pretty good effort for them. 2 hardpoints lost for Optic, you wouldn't expect. But to see LAG run out of momentum in that last map when they got off to the like 2-0 start, that like 3rd round where Lynn's got a kill and then got team killed, and then they somehow couldn't kill Kyler like the round after. I feel so bad watching that because there is a world where LAG should have won this series and sent Optic home top 12, but in the every other game 5 we've seen from this season, they just ran out of gas, and I don't know what they do with this team going forward.
What about you, Chris? What did you think of the series, Chris?
Yeah, on the side of Optic, they won. We already talked about how their hard points been shit. I think they've won 1 out of like 4 or 5, or 1 out of like 5. I think at this tournament.
1
I
in
could
5
be wrong. 1 in 5.
Correct.
Yeah, so they just showed up and just had to completely adjust to a different game plan, considering something that they were strong at home was just failing them at the tournament.
I talked to JP, by the way. They were winning hard points in scrims, so this is purely a match problem for them, according to JP.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, either way, they got shit on hard point. As for the S&Ds, they were playing very well in the searches for the most part. That S&D though, that Skyline, I feel like it should have been a lot cleaner. They should have gone 6-4. It shouldn't even gone to round 11. I think I think they like threw away a 3v.
They got
it was a 3v4, right?
They just got retaked on like 2 or 3 rounds, and it's just kind of hurting them.
But I was gonna say the one thing that I feel like haunts this fucking LAG team in search is that they fail to adjust, and secondly, they play so passive sometimes, like as a team, like as a team, but then they'll have like one random guy on an island who just goes and gets first blood, like doing nothing. It's like they just aren't on the same page. It feels like the guy that's supposed to be playing slow just runs over and dies, and then the people that are supposed to be playing quick are not playing quick. Like they got first blooded on that vault, or like so many times. Like I couldn't even tell you. It just
on the vault, LG came out good on the vault, and I know Linz was cooking, after, but Optic definitely adapted. Like after the first couple rounds, like Optic definitely started slowing it down, and they started getting free pickings because I felt like LG was all over the place.
Bro, on vault offense, if you're going to play a super passive setup with like 2 in sight and then 2 guys back P2, those guys back P2 are in good positions. Get some fucking kills, and they couldn't get any kills in any of these situations. Like, I agree with you, Chris. A lot of like their offensive strat seems like a Pokeball strat, and it worked for them in the first round of vault because Linz got a bunch of fucking kills.
They team killed Linz, man, and then all went to shit.
Yeah,
and then it went all into shit after that.
I kind of like how Linz was playing it. Like instead of playing P2, like Linz would get pushed up by the diving board, like under Balk, like right above pool, and he kind of pushed that out, and he just lay down there, like in little creddy spots and stuff, and just kind of stay alive there. Like, do you always have to set up on a post plant like back P2? Like, why do you always have to set up back P2? Like, I know you can see the bomb from like outer palm, but I mean, you could kind of like lurk like top cat, like you can lurk like kind of by their side, by Balk, like kind of what Lynch was doing today, and it was working pretty well. I feel like the P2 setup, man, is so obvious now. Like,
it's just really hard to get those kills, though. Even if it is obvious, it wastes so much time killing those players, plus the defuse.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is the obvious play, but it's the optimal one at the same time.
I don't know. I feel like people haven't been having a hard like Sam. I feel like what people always do is they go for the guy's P2, they kill the guy's P2, and then they gather up and use their numbers to clear
and then they slide in the vault without checking the corner on the right side where TG gets 17 kills from, and then they lose the round.
You can wall bang that corner. Can you not wall bang it?
You can. But
okay, so people are just refusing to wall bang that shit for some reason. It's an easy check.
I also feel like people are just playing too passive. Like the only information you need on that defensive end when you're trying to retake that A site or try to deny plant is just go top. If you get cat control right away and you see nothing P2, or if you see one guy there, back him down, instantly jump down and literally check the fucking bomb, like attack the bomb. But people are not using that timing. People are legitimately sitting in their spawn.
Now they're playing
their nose.
The teams that are trying to do that, Chris, like the teams on offense have kind of adjusted to that timing now. Like if they don't play P2 quick enough to like stop that fly out, teams won't insta plant. Like they're not going to get shot in the back. Most of the time the bomb planner will just run into sight and head glitch bomb and wait for that timing.
But you can still like try to trap them like sooner rather than just like sitting outside and then giving them way more space.
I think teams do a pretty good job of playing around that. Because they'll go cat like for attacks if they hit a trophy.
But it doesn't seem like LAG's doing it.
No, LG specifically, no. Their mid rounds are horrible.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying.
Mid rounds on every map is fucking horrible to be fair.
Not all of their mid rounds. I thought on Skyline some of their mid rounds were good, but
their Skyline
wasn't bad. Optic was throwing.
Pretty sure at the moment they are the worst team at first bloods and potentially the worst team at first blood conversion, both offense and defense. I think like they just don't get bloods. Like they're not 4v3, and when they're getting in 4v3s, they can't figure out a way to win them. Do you think that seems like a mid-round problem to me? I don't know about you.
No, I was just talking about the Skyline today. There was a few retakes and a few mid-round adjustments where I thought they actually took care of business and took care of Optic. But that could also just be Optic trolling because a couple rounds were Optic kind of throwing them away. But yeah, anybody else got any final thoughts on this series? Because we see Optic again after this one. I do want to say it was really awesome to see the Genomates fan base come out in full effect and just to see how loud they are. And I really love that the fan base showed the team love after they lost and after they got eliminated. I don't know if you guys saw the video with them like out in the hallway, and then the whole crowd was there kind of cheering for them and chanting for them. I just love to see that from a fan base, win or lose, just supporting the guys and making them feel welcomed. It was really cool just like hearing them and hearing their chants, hearing them singing. It's really cool to have Gotaga and his community and all the French. Just kind of the camaraderie has been really, really cool to see. So shout out to that. But anybody else got any final thoughts or anything they want to add?
I mean,
I think LAG makes a roster change. Is that an insane take?
You don't think they do?
I don't think that they do.
I don't think they do either, Sam,
I'll be
but
surprised.
they probably should, right? I mean, they haven't won.
I think they give it another stage before they do, if it's another bad one. I don't think they make one.
I think
They might dig themselves a hole, but go ahead, Ben. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut
I think
you off.
watching them play, unfortunately, it seems like Caesar doesn't have a lot of confidence right now. I think they may just, out of loyalty, give him another stage. But to me, that seems right now like the obvious change. Maybe swap Preston as well. But like they all kind of were at fault today in certain elements of that and have been at fault throughout the stage.
I feel
So
like
I don't know
Preston's
if
been
one
better.
change
Priest,
fixed it.
yeah, I was gonna say Priest has played good like their
He's been
last
better.
couple games
Yeah,
statistically.
that's why I don't want to throw Preston on the bus because he's really picked it up, but like it hasn't resulted in a
mean,
super
bro,
positive form.
I'm not even go. If you're looking at stats for their last couple games, like yeah, Caesar might be faltering, but it's coming down to their search, bro. Like I'm not gonna sit here and act like I've hyper analyzed all their searches and like why or who or there's somebody to blame there, but it's mainly just S&D. Their S&D is getting pretty bad. Their hardpoint map pool is not great, but they've been able to get a couple wins, and they've obviously shown like that they're strong at Skyline. I don't know how they keep playing it, which is weird, but it's mainly their search. I don't know who, I don't know why. They got to figure that shit out. They got to start grouping up more. Like they're just not, like you said, they're not good at converting first bloods, and they're not good at getting first blood. So they got to start, I don't know, playing better. Period. In that game mode.
Well, the reason you got Skyline this is LG never plays Red Card S&D, and Optic I guess is now not feeling super hot on Aussie and S&D, which I think LG won a couple, and somehow I guess between Protocol just didn't want to get picked as a search in this series, and there you go. Skyline's in, and it's a weird, obviously, map like the way it plays. So yeah, these guys need to get better at search, and maybe they'll start closing series. But I agree with you guys; they may not make a change, bro. It might hurt them though because they don't have many points right now. And this
I
is
was
a big
gonna
stage
say
for
that the problem with that is, listen, they don't have to make a change, right? If they see the potential and they want to stick through it, they can. But they gotta start getting some wins on the board, bro. Like these guys are falling behind, and you guys all know how hard it is to kind of dig yourself out of that hole.
The stage one hole is not to be fucked with.
Well,
No,
you want me to
definitely
read the
not.
matches
Hey,
they
pause.
have?
Yeah,
You wanna
Ben,
read the
what's up?
matches they
What's
have?
upcoming for them? Like, who do they have?
So they have Boston, Miami, Vancouver, Cloud9, Vegas. Okay, and then FaZe Optic. Like they have a pretty.
They need to win those games,
They
man.
got a pretty good schedule, actually. I feel like the beginning of that schedule, they got some winnable matches there.
Yeah, but here's the problem, Tom. Is like if you stick with this team and you drop series to Boston and Miami, you have FaZe and Optic sitting at the end of the split.
Yeah, for sure.
You're gonna have to basically like run the tail of Vancouver, Cloud9, Vegas.
Yeah, nah, for
They're
sure.
in a weird spot. I again, if I were them, probably should see who's out there just to see who's out there and do the due diligence. But I won't be surprised they stick. It just seems like the MO with the squad.
Yeah. What about you, Sam? Any final thoughts here?
No, I mean we'll see Optic again in a little bit, so I'll talk about it then.
I was gonna say one last thing with Gentlemates is like, dude, they've always been like a very structured team. They love like finding nerdy shit like in other games, and like you just know they're a big prep team, or they were like back when they were on the New York Subliners. So I wouldn't be surprised, or at least if these guys just go and look at like good teams S&Ds on certain maps and just start stealing shit, because that's the game mode that you are completely lost in. Just start stealing stuff from these teams.
Mm-hmm.
They need some fucking go buttons though. You could steal strats, but they're gonna need to be able to execute said strats. So let's see if they can do it.
Yeah, of course.
Yep, execution's very, very important. Let's move on to the next series of the day. We got Cloud9 going up against the Boston Breach. I wanted to see iterate that I did pick Cloud9 yesterday, and people were saying friendship cheese, but here they are again.
Hey,
Dirty Neslo.
Another
Dirty
prediction.
Neslo.
Another prediction where they doubted me. Another prediction where they doubted
A lot of
me.
Neslos, man.
3-2
Yeah,
victory.
A lot of Neslos.
we
3-2
didn't talk about the
victory.
Nets in the last series either, which is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
3-2 victory here for Cloud9 goes all the way down to a map 5. It was both S&Ds in the control, like the cast just said, for Cloud9, where they were able to get the dub. We had a close map 1 in that hard point. A nail biter goes all the way down to the wire. And then, of course, it was Boston win the map 4 as well. We'll scroll down, take a look here at the stat sheet. We had a 1.14 from Attach and a 1.23 from Sib. We love to see that.
Dante.
We love to see that. From both ARs, we love to see that. And then we had a 1.01 from Mac, 0.94 from Kremp. Everybody pulling weight in the damage department. Dante with 102 kills in this series. I mean, what a series.
13,000 damage.
Who would have thought, man?
He just can't try online, bro.
He's a animal.
He doesn't fuck with that online.
He's a animal, man. That's all it was. He's a land guy. And then on the other side, he had a 0.76 from Cammy today and a 0.83 from Purge. So they're obviously struggling. He had a 1.07 from Big Wake. And Snoopy with a 1.11. We'll take a look at our match MVP. It's going to be Dante with a 0.95 in hardpoint, a 2.38 in search, and a 1.61 in control. So Sib really stepping it up here on land. Good to see, because we were a little worried going into this event after seeing Cloud9 online. We kind of thought that Dante wasn't really looking like himself. Today he looked like himself, and it was great to see. Sam, we'll start with you. What do you think about the series, Sam?
I too picked Cloud9 to win.
We're so smart, Sam.
I'm so smart. I was just a little worried after yesterday. I know they played FaZe, but in the manner in which they lost, I was a little concerned for the bounce back from Boston. I also had faith in C9 to just not be complete and utter shit. I don't know why, because they didn't show me any reason to have that faith, but I just had like a weird gut feeling that they could win the series. Shout out to Dante, bro. Had easily his best series of the year so far. Definitely playing how we expect him to. Yeah. I'm gonna get on his ass a little bit. This should have been a 3-0. There was a play at the end of the map 1 that he definitely should have made in the moment to 3-0 these guys, but I'm not going to be too hypercritical about it. It was a good dirty Neslo though, the dirtiest Neslo. It was a good series from them.
Yeah, this was the play in the map 1 that you're talking about. I mean, Dante, you can see in the kill feed when
he gets an unbelievable 6 kill streak.
Yeah, like he just completely pops off here at the end. You can see him get another couple kills here. Boom, boom, just absolutely clearing the way here.
Show what happens after this.
Yeah, so right here, I just want him to play a little bit more tight. I think he should stay in the stairs and just hold.
He just red dot chases the trade on Snoop.
Yeah, he tries to get the trade on Snoop. Snoopy hits him with a drive-by. And that ends up, unfortunately, breaking it for the Boston Breach. So he makes such a great play, such a great heads-up play, and then he kind of throws it away by chasing him down with an AR. But yeah, continue.
No, I just wanted to give Dante his flowers because I mean we've all been super critical of him, so I want the praise to be just as loud as the criticism was. He had a really good series today.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Benjay? What'd you think about the series, man?
Yeah, I agree. Dante had a good series today. Dill also played really well on the back end of the series, so wanted to tip both ARs for showing out. I think Mac and Kremp also had their moments. On the Boston side, I think now that we're a full split in here, some interesting patterns are starting to emerge with this team because I like their play, but I think it's becoming abundantly clear they are not a good control team. They tried to chance protocol control in the series, and once again, they got Kentucky Fried on the map. They're now combined 2-6 on protocol and Volt control. Like, that needs to be cleaned up. And the search map pool is starting to become a huge problem for them. They don't play Vault S&D, so they gave New York their questionable best S&D and Skyline S&D, which is okay. But Boston is now 1-3 on Skyline S&D, 0-3 on Protocol, and 1-2 on Hacienda. So they're a good red card S&D team. Be it take that away, and you really they got to figure out how to win the other map they're going to get in the set.
Why don't they play Vault? Are they that bad at that map? I feel like with their team,
they don't know how to plant A, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's such a straight up map. Like, why is that an auto beetle? Just go A, plant, and just get cracked with your subs. You have Purge and Snoop. Just let it fly. You could have Cammy and Big Wake just play out or fucking palm trees and shit. Like, I would think that map would be good for them. I don't know why they're auto vetoing it. And if they're shit at that map, I don't know why. But yeah, continue. Go ahead. Sorry. Ben?
Yeah, I mean, I think Boston, like, probably, people are probably going to want Cam dropped. He didn't have a great map in this one. And I know that he's been pretty up and down. I think for them, they got to come back and figure out how to just increase that S&D map pool. If they can find one more bread and butter in the mode, keep chipping away at control, like, I think they're, not going to get that last an event and probably make it deeper in a tournament. But I think that really kind of hindered them both in the FaZe series with the maps that they're giving them in that set, and then this one where you give Cloud9 an opportunity for an instant reply and an S&D map that they're pretty comfortable on.
Yeah. What about you, Duarte? What'd you think of the series?
Yeah, good series out of Cloud9, but more so on the Boston side. I mean, granted, they played FaZe and they played obviously the C9. So the FaZe one, I'm not going to give them complete shit for it because we did expect them to get shit on based on their online performance there. Cammy's been having a string of bad matches, and then Purge just hasn't, at least in this series, has not played the same as he did online recently. Like online, he was actually like playing very good for this team for the most part. But yeah, I mean, they just need to find a way. They got to find a way to come home and replicate at least most of the success that they had online in the stage. Like we picked this team as like a dark horse team to make runs and like do all this stuff. And we didn't think they'd beat FaZe, but we said they'd maybe like give them a fucking run if they were playing good. And they come in and they play C9, and C9 was a team that just looked terrible online, and they got rolled for the most part. Like they should have been a 3-0, like Sam said. This team just needs to find a way to just get more consistent, because they got to find a way to get Cammy back to his form that he was having at the beginning of the stage, and Purge just needs to find a way to play just better.
On a positive, Big Wake looked better this event. He looked like he turned up a little bit this event. Just
that Skyline hardpoint, he was doing crazy.
He was
shit.
going crazy.
He looked like he was keyboarding.
Yeah, no, he played great in this series. That's the thing, though. It's like they played 2 matches, and their first one was a beatdown against FaZe. So realistically, they played 1 actual match. Like that was not a series that was even like you could take anything away from it, considering it was the same result as it was online. So
what do you mean? Them playing FaZe wasn't an actual match?
No, you know what I mean. It's like they got shit slammed at home. They got shit slammed again. It was like a carbon copy paste of their series. Mm-hmm. So like, and I don't expect them to ever be a team that's going to beat FaZe, especially consistently. Yeah. Like I expect this team to be a top middle of the pack team by the way they played online. So I'm going to judge their gameplay by the top middle of the pack matches. And like, I don't know. Yeah, Wake did look better. But again, like this team's just riddled with inconsistency now. Like they had people they could rely on. Snoopy's the only one now. But like Purge was getting turn. Purge was getting up there. Cammy was up there for a bit, but now they're both on the decline. And Wake, he might be getting up there now. So where are they going? Where are they going with this team?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think some of it. Watching Purge's gameplay, I think he almost tries sometimes to play a little bit too fast. It seems like. Do you guys agree? I feel like Purge never starts.
I wouldn't say too fast, but I'd say maybe too much. Sometimes he's trying to do too much. Where like for instance, he's trying to look at multiple things at once, or like I just want him to simplify the game a little bit more. But at the same time, like with the way that he plays, like that's just like how it's gonna be. Like you're gonna be up and down. Like you see it with a lot of like hyper aggressive players, and I think that's the hardest thing as a sub player is like learning those different gears of when to play fast and when to play slow. And that's just something he's just going to have to learn and adapt. And over time, I think he'll get better at it. I think Snoopy's done a lot better job this year than last year at finding those gears of when to
Snoopy's
slow down.
Been unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
If there's one bright spot on this Boston team, it's Snoopy. That guy, he might be top 10.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's disgusting.
So yeah, I think he just needs to find different gears and just kind of know when to go rogue, when to kind of chill out a little bit. Sometimes he gets it right, sometimes he doesn't. That's just on him to kind of learn and adapt and figure out those timings. And when you do see him hitting those timings, I mean, he's insane. Like we saw Purge online against on that Vault hardpoint, right? When he went on that crazy spree, and everybody was like, "Holy shit!" Like you could see the potential that he's got. He's just got to try and find that potential within himself. You know what I mean? And yeah, then any other thoughts on Boston? On the other side with C9, I thought they played better today. It was just cool to see the ARs kick up. Mac is in crutches right now. So did he actually get crossed up in basketball, Sam, or were you just making a joke?
I don't know, bro. I have no idea.
Ben, did you hear any news out there? What happened out there? Why is he on crutches?
I guess like him and Dante playing basketball and he like hurt his knee. I saw really funny tweets Adam put in the DM from Zigstom. I'm gonna link this tweet. It's good content, but I fear the Trash Bros are having a real rough one with the physical elements of this series.
Yeah, I mean, listen, bro. These gamers, man, they gotta stop playing sports when they go to events, bro. You gotta, God forbid, something happened to his hand or something, or he fell.
Hit him with a Euro step and his ACL tore.
Yeah, but even just like jamming a finger. You guys ever jam your finger playing basketball or football or something? Like
chipped my tooth.
There you go. I mean, you could like even if you just jam a finger or something, like damn, I don't know, bro. I'd be staying away from that stuff, especially before events, right? Like that's just like not a good time to be playing around and horsing around. But where's this tweet, Benjay? Say you 8 years, yeah.
I put it in your fucking chat.
Oh my bad, Benjay. Damn, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell at you.
Usually you see it. You didn't got a tweet on it.
Oh my bad. I was looking at the TeamSpeak chat. Mac can't walk. Reese has one eye, and Mock's pushing 375. The fuck going on with these trash bros? Jesus Christ, who the hell is this guy?
That's who Damon retired from right there.
This guy?
Karma's, yep. That was our last scrim before Karma retired.
That's crazy. What the hell?
He woke up. He said, "Who are we?" Damon
bros.
woke up, said, "Who are we scrimming?" Joey Nubsy said, "Zinks," and he retired. True story.
Wait, there's no way, bro.
True story. On my mom. True story. It was his last scrim.
Comedy. That's hilarious. Hey, Damon was like, "Dude, I'm not playing this. I'm out, bro." He
True
probably just
story,
left that
bro.
shit. That's comedy. You guys got any other thoughts on C9? Any other thoughts on their play? I don't know who they play. They play ROKKR tomorrow, right? They play Minnesota?
Yeah, that's an interesting match. I think ROKKR are a better search team than Boston, but ROKKR's hardpoint we talked a lot about. So that one can be another Game 5 heater. And maybe Cloud9 backed away into having a match to play for top 4. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. And anybody else got, before we move on, anybody else? We got one more series to cover, and then we'll take a look at the bracket for tomorrow. But any thoughts on Cloud9, Sam and Chris? Or Ben?
No, we'll see
No, I
where they
think we
go
move
tomorrow.
on and talk about what people really want us to talk about.
Yeah, then we got to go to the final series of the day. I think this is not what we expected going into this one, folks, but we got a 3-1 victory for the Carolina Royal Ravens over Optic, Texas. It was Optic, Texas who win the first hardpoint by 2 points. It was 250 to 248. And then you look at the next 3 maps, and it was just smooth sailing for the Carolina Royal Ravens. It was 6-3 in the search, 3-0 in the control, and 250 to 193 in the hardpoint. We'll scroll down. We'll take a look at the stat sheet. We nearly have a red carpet here for Optic Texas. It's Hook who's saving them from that one with a 1.05. He had a 0.83 from Dashi, a 0.80 from Kenny, and a 0.89 from Shotzi. On the other side, you had a 1.06 from Vivid, a 1.21 from TJ, a 1.07 from Slasher, a 1.14 from Gwyn. Everybody shooting on the Carolina side. Yeah, TJ Haley is the match MVP with a 1.15 in hard point,
TJ
a
is
1.50 in S&D, and a
What a day from
1.33 in control. This guy, Tej, has been unbelievable, man. Just like, not even just like him shooting and dropping good numbers, but even just like the plays he makes. Like, he's such a fundamentally sound player. Like, it's very rare you see TJ, like, take a bad route or look at the wrong thing or not pick up the right lane. Like, he's just very fundamentally sound. He plays the game the right way. And on top of that, he was shooting today. He was fucking shooting. Shout out to T-Squared because he played unbelievable. He was definitely the MVP in this one. I think what people really want us to talk about is the other side with Optic. What the hell is going on with these guys? They cannot win a hardpoint on land. Their hardpoints look horrible right now, man. Their breaking looks off. Their rotations are late. Carolina was a step ahead in both hardpoints, it seemed at times. The first hardpoint was better for Optic than the second one. But especially the second one, it just seemed like they were so late to every rotation. It kind of seemed like they were just kind of running around with chickens with no heads. A lot of single pushing. Just
Fine.
What'd you say?
No, because you're
Running around with chickens and no heads, man.
with chickens with no heads.
Just carrying them around, Chris.
Chickens with no heads, man. Isn't that a saying, or am I just?
No,
running
I
around?
headless,
I'm gonna be honest,
headless chickens.
Oh, that's what it is.
Just carrying them around, man.
Headless chickens. That's it.
I'm not really surprised about this hardpoint dud. That might be a fire
Really?
take, but
You're not? I was
What?
surprised.
No,
Can I elaborate?
They were
Can I
really
elaborate?
good,
Can
Ben
I-
Online. They were
Can I
insane
elaborate?
there, but yeah, go ahead.
Can I elaborate, please?
Yeah, you can elaborate. Go ahead.
I've watched a lot of Optic scrims in the last couple of weeks, and when things go south for this team, they have a huge, massive trouble in slowing it down and playing organized. I watched those scrims they played against FaZe, for example, and yeah, the vault, they looked pretty good, but as momentum started to turn in that scrim, it looked a lot like what you saw today and yesterday. They just aren't coordinated. It's a lot of single pushes. It's a lot of who go here and try and get 3 kills and try and fly out and do this. And some of these more disciplined teams, like a Carolina, who I think Carolina's
against-
You thought
Can you
Optic was
please-
going to show up to this event
Can you please let me finish?
and
You
go
guys please let me
1-5? Sure. go
No,
ahead.
I didn't think they would go. I didn't think they would go 1-5. But I'm not surprised that their hardpoint failed them because there were signs of this. If y'all were watching the scrims the last few weeks,
I don't give a fuck about scrims.
I don't either.
You put more stock into them being a potentially bad hardpoint team than absolutely clapping every
Bro,
team they
there's-
played in hardpoint
there's-
in
there-
matches.
There's
Yeah,
also so many
I think there
teams.
was a role- they were
There's also
coming
so
in
many
and have a
teams
dud.
in the
Absolutely.
history of COD that literally are good in scrims and get shit online. There's so many teams in the history of COD that don't win maps in scrims, go to matches and fry. Like scrims are relevant. But I mean, hey, honestly, Ben,
I'm just saying. I'll still tip shit all the time in scrims.
Listen, I'll still tip it. I'll still tip the analysis.
We saw maps like this online when they were screaming their practice.
Dashy and Shotzi, by their standards and the way they played online, they had a terrible fucking tournament. Kenny
also had a terrible tournament.
Yes, I was gonna get to Kenny. Kenny's just had a string of like inconsistency, fucking terrible matches, terrible strings or like games where he's just like dying a fuck ton of times, just not really contributing. He just has not played that good in this game. He's had some moments, some clutch moments. He's and maybe a couple maps here and there, but for the most part, he has not played very well. So whenever they're calling on him to step up back in MW3, when they were calling on him to step up in big games, even if he wasn't like consistently playing the best on his team, he would show up in those games. This time, did not happen.
No, Ken's got to play better, but the two players this weekend, they were absolute duds, were supposed superstar number 1 and supposed superstar number 2. They're both nowhere to be found in this series. They're two very talented players. We saw at times online how dynamic their takeover potential, but I thought both of them were complete non-factors for like 98% this weekend. And if those two guys can't play at that level, like, Ken's got to play better. No one's going to disagree with you. He needs to figure it out.
Shotzi struggled.
But the fact that we thought Kyler would be the one that struggles the most to land, and he was their best player this weekend.
No, Cap. I've been glazing Kyler.
I've been on my knees.
I still said the same thing. I said he was not going to falter on this game because of the way the game is.
He's actually insane.
He's actually insane.
He's their best player, bro. And it wasn't even close this weekend.
Hook is nuts.
Yeah, he's been their best player the last couple matches, and then just in general here at the event. But
he won him that first map too. This would have been a 3-0 if it wasn't for Hook. This would have been a 3-0.
With a 100-point toss on map one.
I'm gonna be
pieced him for the one. Oh, my bad, Chris. Go ahead.
I'm gonna put on my Pat face mask here because I'm gonna give you what Pat would have said if he was here. All right. He's gonna talk. He would have talked about how Shotzi talked all that shit at home about how people didn't want to win and how people weren't playing to win and all this shit. And he would have told you that, listen, some people can talk the talk, but they can't walk the walk. And this is one of those scenarios.
Pat would have 100%.
100%. This is one of those scenarios where, unfortunately for Shotzi, he was all bark and no bite. So he's got to get home and he's got to work harder and he's got to make sure that this shit does not happen again. I'm curious to see. Listen, I want Shotzi to come back home and start talking more shit. Double down on that bitch.
He should. That'd be fun.
And then he needs to double down on that shit and then actually turn up because that would be hilarious. If he gets back down and he becomes a little chihuahua after acting like a pit bull, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. Because I was actually,
bro, you want to know what it is? I think I figured it out, man.
Let's hear it.
Somebody on the Ravens has 2 houses. I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is, but somebody on the Ravens might have 2 houses. Yeah. And I think that's what fucked him up.
Bro, I'm fucking.
I think that's what it is, bro.
Trey's been asking that question to like every player.
Somebody's got. I think Tej might have real estate in the Hamptons, bro.
No, hold on, bro. Hold on. Listen. Also, I want to talk about. I'm obviously not in the camp, and I couldn't like tell because I'm not like listening to their comms in between matches. But listen, the one thing that this team is missing from Pred, bro, and I'm not going to say they should replace Pred for Hook or blah blah, because Hook was obviously insane, but the energy, bro, it was not there. When this team was fucking going down a fucking spiral and getting shit on these games, you go over to their pops and they're fucking silent. They're just like looking at their monitors. Their faces look like they gave up.
Yeah.
Like literally
even in their
mid-tournament.
listenings, their first listening, because Sam, we were even talking about it, bro, they sounded dead in their listening. There was there was no small talk in their listenings. Their second listening was a lot better when they in the second series. The first series I went to a listen. I was like, dude, what is that? Like, I didn't even hear Ant and Bruce in the comms. I think I heard mostly Hook and Kenny. But it just seemed like very, very off. Like something seemed off. I do agree that AG brought that energy, brought that passion, brought that hype. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know if that, like, I'm not disagreeing with the take, but I don't know how much stock I'm putting into it for them having a complete game mode collapse.
No shit. That's not why they're.
I agree with the take.
I'm just
But-
saying, like, bro, somebody's got to step in, bro, and it's got to be Ken here because we know that's the type
I mean,
of
Ken
fucking
was the most
person he
vocal
is.
one, and they're dog shit listening too.
What I'm saying is he's got to find a way to fucking energize these motherfuckers and bring them back to life because they were fucking zombies.
Man, start calling out, guys. Start going.
That's not what you know. That's not what I'm saying, bro. I'm not putting it on blame. I'm not putting the blame on him. I'm saying, like, bro,
you don't, bro.
they gotta wake the fuck up, man. They didn't want to win this tournament. They
Guys,
didn't
start
care.
calling out harder. We're getting shit on.
Listen, it's not going to be Ant. I'm going to be real with you. I've watched enough Optic and Ant play. Ant is the one that communicates the least on his team. That's fine. You can live with that one. Still part of that. I think if they want to play that style, it's going to fall on Brandon. Because I just think it is what it is. Who else is going to do it on the team? So I think Brandon's going to have to kind of adjust a little and try to pick that up on his shoulders and be that kind of guy if that's the style that they want in their comms.
I don't think that's on anybody.
I
It's
agree.
on all of them, is it not?
Yeah,
I
I don't think that's their
I
biggest
agree.
issue, but I'm just saying,
It
like,
is- I agree
it's
with
just
you,
something
it's an
that I
issue.
noticed. It's something that I noticed, bro. They were fucking zombies. Were they jet
I'm
lagged?
not
Like, are they
disagreeing on
good?
But, bro.
I'm sorry, anyone that pulled up this tournament jet lag, that's unacceptable, bro. You've known about the travel for months. You need to know that you've got to adjust your sleep schedule properly a couple of days before. So you sleep on that flight to Spain, so you properly acclimate when you arrive in the morning. Anyone
Are we
that
really
couldn't handle
granting
that
jet
correctly-
lag here?
Yeah, why are we talking
No,
about jet
I'm
lag?
roast. No, I'm cooking anyone that blames jet lag.
Okay.
I come
I was
back
gonna
and
double- I was
jet lag.
double-checking.
Yeah.
I'm
Double-checking.
fucking tweaking, bro. I'm tweaking.
Just
I
double
give
checking.
everybody a
They've been
pass
there
for
all
Saudi.
week, have they not? They've been there all week.
Yes, I give Saudi a little bit of a pass, but like second time around, no. Sorry.
Bro, that
That's
whole
not
team
where-
just got fucking Kentucky fried. I'm not like, other than Kyler, genuinely, their whole team played like complete shit. Like the
Agreed.
difference, I tweeted on their, like, after they beat Toronto, that like the way that they were playing hardpoint online was fucking awesome, dude. The way that they were, their holds and setups, their situationals, like they were playing so ahead of the game. And then to go to a tournament and legitimately look like the worst hardpoint team in the game, I don't know what the fuck happened.
Not
Bro.
only that, but
I don't know what happened.
I mean, I noticed this, but Brandon was fucking not shooting straight, bro. Every time they went to his POV, bro, his aim just like you look at his aim at home, right? And his aim at that tournament, he was something was off. He had such a shit tournament. No, I'm saying, I'm saying
Brandon was
No,
shooting
no,
straight as fuck today.
No, in their first match, he was fucking whipping, bro.
Maybe
Like,
their
on
first match, but the
on
second
on
match,
pro-
he was
bro,
definitely shooting,
on
bro.
On their first match, the protocol against Kisman and them, it looked like he had no aim assist on. I swear
Well,
to God, he was
one
getting
of the first
fucking
people
put down, bro.
I'll say this: like I was talking to them that day, and they were one of the first people in the venue. So we probably sat, and they were last match. So we sat around probably. I don't think he went back. Probably sat around all day before that series. So if he didn't manage that time correctly and getting his energy level up, like that's on
Okay,
him.
listen, bro.
Like you got a
Them
responsibility.
shooting
But
straight
go ahead, Tom.
is not the problem, okay? These guys are just late to everything. They're late. Carolina was beating them to every power position, beating them
Everything
to
bad.
every rotation, beating them on every single cut. They were a step behind every single map.
And
All the-
then
the
bro,
point I'm trying to
they
tell
never
you, because I
recognized
saw
it
this-
though.
I saw
Hold
this
on,
in the
hold on. And then to
scrim.
lead to
Ben,
my
I'm
next
not
point.
giving you credit for analyzing scrims. I'm not. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not giving you a complete game mode collapse for analyzing scrims.
That
I'm
leads
sorry.
me to my next
Clearly,
point.
you
I'm
weren't
not
fucking paying
granting you that,
attention
dude.
good enough. I don't tell
That
you.
is fucking insane. That's an insane hindsight take.
It's
Insane.
not a hindsight take.
Okay,
Yes,
I
it
gotta take.
is.
Okay.
That is a fucking insane
It is
take.
a lot harder to get kills when you're playing behind. When you're playing ahead of the game and you're getting pushed up into good spots, it is so much easier. The game feels easier, right? So if you're not doing the little things and you're not taking the right routes and you're not having the right setups and you're not looking at the right shit and you're not in doing crossfires and so Bruce is gonna look like he's getting shit on. Shotzi's gonna be getting worlds. So like, bro, they're never in good positions to get put into like these sprees where they're just going off. Like you saw TJ going crazy today. That's because of the routes he was taking and the positions he was playing and playing off his teammates. Like the game looked easy from TJ's POV. Well, when you're watching it from Optic's POV, you're like, holy shit, like what do you do here? What do you do here?
All their situationals suck. Dude.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
terrible.
you and I pointed out like
Terrible.
7 mistakes in one map today from them. Like that's just shit that we never saw online. Like they were playing good, clean hardpoint online, and then today, like every skyline, I think both P4s on the skylines that they played today, like they were double holding top and letting LAG just run through bottom and break for free. Like they were double holding lanes on every single map that they played. They were getting 4 deads and not pushing out or pushing too far. Like it was shit that we looked at as routine from them online to then to come to the event and like, okay, like we saw them make this play fucking 4 days ago. This should be a pretty easy play. And no, they just completely bottled it.
Even one perfect example was the rock hill on Hacienda. They got a clean wipe, right? And then everybody from Optic just ran in a different direction and chowed something. And just as soon as they got the wipe, instead of just getting pushed up, getting in a good setup, holding some good crossfires, making Carolina just come into your trap, they just overchowed, all died, and then Carolina just ran in and grabbed like the half of Rock Hill, and I was like,
they double pushed top middle.
Like,
and
bro,
tried
they
to play
did
like
the hard part.
They
Did the hard part. They got in there, they clean wiped them and broke the Rock Hill. It was holy shit, Optic broke the fucking hit. They did the hard part, and then they fucked up the easiest part, which is just getting together, figuring out a good setup, and just holding like a crossfire, holding some L triggers. Like, they just overcomplicating shit, and they're over-challenging. They're over-challenging a lot. Like, they're challenging everything.
It was just a full game mode breakdown, dude. Everything was bad. We could sit here and pick out every little thing, but it was just a complete and utter collapse in the game mode.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, we could talk about all the game modes because I think Optic's been solid in control, but so is Carolina, and I thought that like protocol is also kind of a masterclass out of Carolina. I think Optic's control map pool is like a little sketchy, and they're going to need to work on that. And the S&Ds. I don't think the first bloods were a massive issue for Optic at this event. I think they had a couple of maps where they got out first blooded, but they had a bunch where they got really good entries from Kyler and from Brandon as well, a couple of first bloods. But to note about the situationals, they lost a bunch of situationals I thought were kind of unacceptable in the searches.
And it's just so strange, man. It's just so it's genuinely like perplexing to me how they could look that good a couple days ago and then come to the event and look like they've never played together.
I'm literally giving you. Okay, I'm not gonna argue over that.
Ben, I understand, bro. You watch scrims and you think that they don't know how to play COD. I get it, but like you don't go from dominating.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. You're just assuming I'm saying they don't know how to play COD.
What's your point?
My point is that what I've noticed online in the scrims, and it was very noticeable in the Thieves and FaZe scrims that they played. I think it's weaker teams when they limit tests, like they were working well around that. But when they get frustrated as a team, they had an inability in those scrims to seem like they were resetting, and like they rage quit like 2 of the 3 scrims that I mentioned, like literally on stream. And I was sitting here on my stream like I'm really surprised that nobody's fucking talking about this because they just basically given up 2 maps before the end of this fucking scrim. Like, they got to be able to deal with the adversity that's going to happen in matches where things are not going their way. And this is a weekend where things were not going their way, and they were unable to correctly rally off of Friday.
I see a lot of people cook it better. I don't think it's that bad of a take. I mean, listen, they are really good when they have the upper hand, bro. Like, when they have the momentum, when they have the upper hand, when they start games really well, and they're kind of leading that way, where they're kind of like a step ahead of the game, like that's when they're at their best. And when things aren't going their way, they do have to slow it down and try and figure out how to kind of bring it all together. You know, because I feel like you could get kind of flustered and kind of end up in those scenarios where Kenny's on a 15 death streak now. Shotzi's died 7 times in a row. Like, they're just running and dying. Like, they're flustered, and you can see it. So I don't think it's that bad of a take. But yeah, I mean, I don't completely disagree, man. I kind of agree with you. Just, I think in rage quitting scrims, though, have they actually rage quit scrims?
I mean,
teams rage quit against them too, bro. Like,
100% people did against them, but I watched them rage quit scrims against some good teams online. That's why I was like saying on my chat, I'm like, like there is, when they're it's bro. I said this morning. The way this Optic team is constructed, like they are a momentum team. When they are in flow, and you saw it last year at Champs, like they are super hard to beat. I know Ali was talking about how she thinks Minnesota ROKKR on stream is like the most unstoppable team when they get going. I think it's Optic when they get going. Those guys are very difficult to beat. FaZe is very similar to that, but it also swings the other way. Like this team just seems to get very frustrated and has a hard time like mentally resetting in these situations and trying to figure out what their plan B is. I think that's what they had to come back. Yeah, maybe structurally they're doing some wrong things with their system, but they're not dealing with adversity correctly in this series. And unfortunately, you saw it when they came out here to Spain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Optic, great team, but they fell flat this weekend. They fell flat, and they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and see what's going on, specifically their hard points, because they were so good at hard point leading up to the event. I didn't think hard point would be their problem, which is why, again, I said the first series was a good win for them, because they didn't win the hard points, which I thought was a good game mode for them, and they still won the series. Just for them to turn around and, continue to lose these hard points. They just can't get a hard point win on the board. So, I thought the first couple hard point losses, like, whatever. A couple hard point losses, they're a good hard point team. They'll bounce back. Now I'm like, damn, what the hell's going on? Like, why can't they win hard points on land? Like, what's happening? But yeah, anybody have any other final thoughts here on the series or on Optic, on Carolina? Again, thought Carolina played great today. Just like a step ahead of the game. They made the game look easy. I think that says a lot about Slasher, honestly, and Tease. I feel like they've been playing the game for a long time. They've been around for a long time. So I think they really talk about how they want to play the game, and I just think they're all on the same page. So when you get to LAN and you get to these high intense moments, like they just look well organized. Which is one thing I tried to tell the former FC Stallions guys. Like there's just at times like
not the former, man.
The former FC Stallions. I try to tell them, like, you know, once you'll fry until you get to top 6, top 4. But if you guys are not playing like good fundamental COD, like it's chalked, like it's completely chalked. So yeah, Carolina looked great today. Optic obviously struggled. They got bounced in the tournament. They're going home. Anybody have any other final thoughts here? Any final thoughts?
Optic schedule this upcoming split is very interesting. If you're an Optic fan, I would like the difficulty of this split. They have FaZe immediately when they get back, first weekend, as well as Minnesota. Is there a minor? I don't remember if there's the minors before the major qualifiers in some in this.
I don't know what stages have them because I know they're not in every stage.
I think it's literally the first week they get back is the minor, but
really?
the major I'm pretty sure, but the major qualifiers are FaZe in Minnesota that first weekend, then Carolina, Miami, Toronto, and then Los Angeles Thieves, LAG. So like, there's a good mix of top teams.
The FaZe, LAT, Toronto.
Yeah, they're playing FaZe, Toronto, and LAT in this split. So good test for Optic coming up. I think it's gonna be hard for them to go 6-1 again, but a good split out of them would hopefully get the momentum they need, and then they can run it at home. We've seen that they can win events in that fucking at Allen, bro. What they made it to the finals of every event they've hosted at this point, have they not?
I have no idea.
Trying to think. Yeah, I mean,
I have no.
now that I think about it, it's
Champs.
Might be right.
Champs. They did it in Vanguard. They did it against Toronto in what, MW2, right?
MW2, yeah. So I think
you might be right.
You might be right.
Maybe sorted in March, bro. I would not worry about the squad.
So here's the bracket tomorrow. We have an elimination match with Minnesota and Cloud9. So loser will be going home. Winner will obviously move on to the next round. You have Carolina awaiting their match from winners. And over on the winner's side, we got Toronto Ultra versus Atlanta FaZe tomorrow, which is going to be absolutely insane. I cannot wait to watch these two teams go head to head. And then on the other side, you got LA Thieves going up against Miami, which I think these are going to win, but I actually think it could be an upset here if Miami come out and take care of business like they did with Optic. I mean, I'm sure they got a lot of confidence and a lot of momentum off that series. So I think anything could happen in this one. And we know Thieves have looked a little sloppy going into it. Granted, they looked great the first day on land. Like they looked like they turned into like another beast. I'm still going to probably go with LA Thieves in this one. I think just because it's land, I think they're just turning up right now. Like I think they're going to be a tough team to beat. So I'm probably going to go with LA Thieves this one. Probably 3-1. Let's say 3-1 Thieves, just like the first series. What do you think, Sam? Who do you got?
3-0 LAT. Slammed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ben?
I got LA Thieves game 5.
LA Thieves game 5. You got it going all the way down to the wire.
Yeah, Miami are a good respawn team. I think they're going to give Thieves a good challenge tomorrow.
All right, what about you, Chris?
I got Thieves, but I would not be surprised if this goes game 5 and then they potentially get upset. Like they're both good respawn teams. The S&D, both of them have not been good, so it's going to be a gamble unless Thieves just come out and they're just like, oh yeah, we're animals, just fry them. Like this probably goes game 5.
Mm-hmm. All right, then we got Toronto Ultra going up against Atlanta FaZe. I'm going to Atlanta FaZe 3-0. I think Atlanta FaZe look unreal right now. I think they look insane.
And 3-0.
3-0.
3-0 is nuts, bro.
All right, I'm going to Atlanta FaZe 3-0. Sam, who do you got?
FaZe 3-0.
Hey,
I knew that. I think
these guys are
3-0. Guys, y'all
delusional
spammed
right now,
question
bro.
marks when I picked Boston Online. Y'all spammed question marks when I
can't
picked
lie,
Cloud9. And now y'all are spamming question marks when I'm saying 3-0 FaZe, man. I mean, it is what it is, man.
Listen, until I see a series where FaZe is tested in the way that they've been playing, bro, they might be final right now.
They're on what, a 10 game win streak right now?
I think it's 9. But yeah, they're
I got
nuts.
FaZe 3-0, man. I
The
think they look different right now.
That every time Joe Deceives plays this squad, like he has
That is true,
a pretty good series.
That's
Like
because he knows
down.
these guys, man. He knows their tendencies. We know Joe's.
yeah,
Tyler
him
Beasley's
and
father,
Tyler
man.
play fucking 1v1s every night.
Yeah, they
That's
know
why.
each other,
Like,
man. They know each
like,
other.
I think I got FaZe 3-1, but I think this could be. I think that this series on paper has the potential to be series of the year. No bullshit. I know it's a major one, but I could see a classic Game 5er on the cards with this one. I'll pick it. Fuck it. FaZe 3-2, classic Game 5.
Series of the year is insane.
What about you, Chris? Who do you got?
I got FaZe. They just look unreal. Yeah, Ultra are definitely good, but they have way more like weak spots in their game. If it's gonna come through as an Ultra win, it's gonna come through the searches.
Okay, and then we got Cloud9 going up against the Minnesota ROKKR. This one's an interesting one to me, bro. I don't know who's gonna win this series. Come back to me, Chris. You start this one. Come back. I gotta think about this one. You go ahead, Chris. We'll go from the bottom up. You're muted,
Fuck,
also,
dude.
too, by the way.
I'm not muted. I'm fucking thinking.
You're pondering. This one's hard, right? This one's a hard one. I don't know who's winning this series, bro. I have no idea. If I had to lean one way, I'm gonna lean towards Cloud9. I think Cloud9's gonna win it.
Friendship cheese.
I'm gonna say
It's what they
ROKKR
said
win
yesterday.
it.
It's what they said yesterday.
I'm gonna say
bro.
ROKKR win it. Just because they've just been the way more consistent team. And they've looked good in their last match. They didn't go to Game 5, which is insane because these guys are just always go to Game 5. So I mean, like they hypothetically have improved on land. So I think they're gonna take it to Cloud9. I think Sib is gonna have to play. I'm curious how Sib plays tomorrow because if he can put up another really good match, then his narrative might start to change. But I don't know, man. That's kind of crazy that he played that well today because he has not played well this entire game.
Mm-hmm.
I need to issue a warning. The map pull in this match, if it plays out the way I think it does, is very unfavorable in the respawns to Minnesota because they just don't really or want to play red card hardpoint these days. And that means you're going to be giving C9 Skyline or Protocol, they're going to have very good opportunities in the respawns. And on top of that, I think C9 has shown some prowess in search, especially Dante has played recently. I have Cloud9 3-1 over Minnesota.
Friendship cheese. Friendship cheese, man. Friendship cheese, man.
Whatever, bro.
I have C9 winning too.
You got C9 too, Sam? You got C9?
Yeah, I like Dante's game today. I hope he plays the same way he did today tomorrow. I think if he does, I think they win.
Absolutely. And then other than that, obviously no putt from Benjay since he's over there in Madrid. But
Let's do this. Let's do a predict top 4 tomorrow. Who do we think is the top 4 by the time the event starts? And then, sorry.
Top 4. I'd probably say.
Pull the bracket back up.
It's gonna be a weird one, bro.
Visualize.
Let's face Toronto, Thieves,
and
Carolina.
FaZe Toronto, Thieves, and Carolina. That's my top 4.
Well, so problem there is Toronto and Carolina can't be the top 4.
I was gonna say they play each other.
Oh yeah, true.
There's gonna be a weird one in there.
I'm gonna say FaZe, Thieves, Toronto, and Miami.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same thing. FaZe, Thieves, Toronto, and
I got
definitely FaZe, Thieves, Toronto, and then the last one, I don't know, dude. I'd probably say
it's either Miami. It would be either but if you have Cloud9 winning, wouldn't it be either Miami or Cloud9?
Yeah, it'd be one or the other. I'd probably say Cloud9. I'm gonna say Cloud9. I'm gonna say Cloud9, bro.
Yo, if they get fucking top 4 after they're online,
I said this earlier.
God.
I said the way
they can't, bro. Dante's gonna be delusional.
Back into the top 4.
Oh, that'd be so awesome.
I'm gonna make a prediction.
That'd be
I got
awesome.
FaZe, Thieves, Carolina, and New York top 4 on Sunday.
You
Let's
got
get
Toronto.
weird.
New York.
You got Toronto out.
This guy said New
Yeah.
York. Are we gonna let that slide?
New York Cloud9.
Cloud9,
Oh
New
no!
York.
Oh, I forgot. Never mind. I thought you were talking about subliners. Whoa!
Wait, Ben, you got
I'm on
Toronto
Mars.
out.
Losing the
I
Carolina.
forgot. I thought
baby.
C9 was from LA, bro. My bad. No,
I'm
C9
going
plays
for
out of
full
LA,
Yeah,
right?
they do.
Full
Yeah, they're
March
headquartered
Madness.
out of
I
LA.
like that. I like that, Ben. I like that.
I'm on Mars.
You guys see this? Kason's tweet, the Halo event. So he's doing a Halo HCS 4-team LAN, $50,000, Dallas, Texas. He's got FaZe, Optic Gaming, Space Station, and Shopify Rebellion, all going head to head on LAN. That's far.
It's
Kason,
the same as you did with COD, I'm assuming.
yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
COD, but
Same-
Halo.
same style.
Just top four teams.
shit.
He's getting them together, and they're gonna get a little LAN tournament going, which is really cool, bro. It's really cool to see. I know the Halo scene can really use
That's
stuff
sick.
like this, man. So shout out to Kason, bro. He's always doing things to help the esports space, whether it's COD, Halo, whatever the hell he's doing. Kason's always doing cool shit, man. So Shout out to Kason, man. This guy knows
Someone in the
everybody,
chat-
man. This guy's got networking, man. This guy knows everybody, man. This guy's an animal. What,
Someone in
man?
the chat said he can only see his schnoz on the poster.
That's not right. That's not right, man. It's not right.
Nah, but on some real shit though, WK song for this is a good preseason lane because the Halo tournament season starts kicking up. And Tom, there's another Halo announcement as well. Announced all the partner teams, TSM involved, which is kind of interesting. A
TSM's
DreamHack,
back in Halo.
yeah,
That's cool.
TSM's back in. Unfortunately, Sentinels is coming out, but
Oh.
DreamHack Dallas will have a Halo event as well. So we're gonna have CS, Halo, and COD.
It's gonna be old school style. I love that.
Absolutely. That's cool.
What time do matches start tomorrow?
Same as today.
5:30 a.m. Pacific time.
Same as today.
Yeah, I've been up since 4 a.m. So I've been going through it low key, but you know, coffee's been my best friend. I've been drinking a lot of coffee.
I slept 5 hours last night, bro, because I streamed for like 9 hours after the flank. I'm
Yeah,
going through it.
I'll be honest, bro. This coffee be going right through me, man. You know what I mean? I mean, this shit's unbelievable, bro. They be calling me Puma.
Literally.
Literally,
Puma?
bro. Literally. That's what they be calling me, man. Puma. They be calling me Puma. It's crazy. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's flank. Obviously, we had some great matches today. We got some more great matches tomorrow, so I'm excited to get into it. We should have our top 4 solidified by the end of tomorrow. So excited to get into the show tomorrow, talk about the matches, and see what we got going on going into Champ Sunday. So super excited. We'll obviously be back. Thank you to everybody for all the energy today in the watch party, bro. You guys have been insane. I mean, it was literally 5 a.m. today, and I'm live, and there's like fucking so many fucking thousands of people in there. You guys are insane, bro. You guys are incredible. Thank you all so much for all the support, as always. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, go to anchor.fm/theflank. Check out all the audio sites we're on. Go follow @theflank on Twitter. Gert's doing a phenomenal job running socials per usual. ZooMaa.gg for the merch. And, of course, make sure to join the community. It's spotlighted to the top of my profile on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. It's also spotlighted at the top of the Flank Twitter. So make sure to join the community if you're not in there already. Take care. Brush your hair. And we'll see you guys next time on another episode of The Flank, man. See you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. So long.
Peace.